Well, before I tell the hyena story, I'll kind of preface it with that East Africa, Kenya, and Tanzania is an amazing place. You know, people, obviously, everyone's heard of how Africa is a lot of the time. And before, I say anything else, I want to make sure that you understand that it's a wonderful place. I loved being in Kenya. I loved being in Tanzania. And I definitely want to go back to be able to see the people again and to see the place, because I loved being there, and you will love being there just as much as I did. And it's just, the people are so kind and so humble, and it's a lot of fun. It's a great place to be. It's the best mission in the world, because it's such a different experience than anything you'd ever experienced before and ever could experience, because it's just so much fun. I love the place. And there is dangers no matter where you go. There's dangerous things in Utah, and obviously there's dangerous things in Africa, and it's all about being smart and being wise. And so the story, I guess technically it was my fault, so I guess it'd be kind of a confession. We were going home one night, and I lived in this area called Chulu, which is, when you picture like the African village, bush, game park area, like where animals live, that's where I lived. It was a very tiny village with like 12 shops, and that was the village. And then all the people lived out in the bush, and had farms of maize, which is just corn. And as we were emailing home at the church, because it was the only place that we could get internet access, and it was because they had a modem that got wireless internet. And we were there emailing, and we kind of got lost track of time, and it was late one night, and we were supposed to be home by 6 every day, because after 6 it gets dark, because it's right on the equator. And so after 6 o'clock it gets dark, and we're supposed to be home before that, because after dark is when the animals come out. Well, we lost track of time, and we were coming home past 6. It was dark, and we got to me and my companion got to the fence to unlock our fence to be able to get into our house. And as we were there, we heard behind us hyenas whooping, whoop, 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 whoop. And obviously we were terrified, because we just knew there was these hyenas, and we could tell they were right behind us. So I was on with the key, and I just remember jiggling that lock trying to get the key, and I'm nervous, and I finally get the key, and I get it open, and we just opened the gate, sprinted in towards the house, slammed it behind us, and got inside the house and locked it. And we did not go out the rest of that night, because we were pretty shaken up by that, just knowing that they were right there. And that's obviously an example of how obedience will protect you, because if we would have been home on time, we wouldn't have had that danger. So as long as you're smart and you follow the mission rules, obviously you're not going to get attacked by hyenas, and they're not going to rip your arms off or anything. But it was definitely a funny experience to have hyenas chase us into the house. Most people got, not most, I shouldn't say most, some people got robbed at some point. Not usually too scary of a situation, but there was one elder who was robbed at gunpoint in Nairobi, in the capital city of Kenya. And so, things like that happen. A lot of pickpocketing happens. I always made sure my back pocket where my wallet was buttoned, and so I never had any problem with it. I never did get robbed my whole mission. But as long as you're safe, and right now in Kenya there is some unrest with different tribes, but there always is. And so it's nothing too serious, but you just need to make sure that you're in safe places, and the mission is very good at telling you where not to go because of dangerous situations. But yeah, some people have been robbed at gunpoint or different things like that.